Welcome to another episode of Across the Sports World. This is week three of the NFL season. We're entering week four, so we'll be talking about some of the games that happened for week three. It was, you know, there's only a few talking points. There's not too much to really get into. You have the Dolphins 70-point game. You have the Cowboys upset. You can talk about Sunday Night Football, the Browns performance. Really it. A lot of the other games were kind of stinkers or just not much to write home about. A game that didn't have much to write home about was San Francisco beats the Giants 30-12. I just the Giants aren't very good. It's plain and simple. I Daniel Jones is overpaid. Without Saquon, they can't really run the ball. Offensive line's pretty mediocre. Um, really either way. So it's hard for them to compete with teams. Even their defense, it's decent defense, but it's not gonna outright win you games like Pittsburgh or in Cleveland. It's just not gonna do it. Or San Fran. It's you can't have a low scoring game and you can't give up 30 points and win. If you're the Giants, I know they essentially did that last week, but they're just simply not good enough. While the 49ers might be one of the best football teams in the past decade and a half. They're just that good. I mean, they're doing this with a guy who we still have no idea if he's that all that at quarterback. Who knows? We could be looking at the next Tom Brady, or we could just see a guy that's a system quarterback just playing well in the system. I don't know. It's almost hard to tell. Uh, the Colts beat the Ravens. This is actually another talking point. The Ravens are beat up, man. This is hard. They start off 2-0, but at what cost? That's the problem there for the Ravens. They're so injured to a point where you're concerned of how they're going to look against Cleveland this upcoming week. And if I'm a Ravens fan, you're almost thinking like maybe we want to lose this week and maybe the next just to heal some players up. I mean, you don't have Dobbins again. God forbid if that guy ever actually plays. I think he's really good, but I don't think we'll ever find out. Just with all the injuries that he's had, the Colts, Minshew Mania is back, baby. It's fun seeing the Colts be competitive. They seem more competitive than last year, so you know they're kind of turning the roster around a little bit. They like Richardson a lot, but Minshew steps in for Richardson for now, and he performed well. What can I say? It's hard to really say anything negative about the guy. I mean, comes back at the end again. It took a Tucker missed a 60-yard field goal, but a win is a win is a win. So can't be too mad about it. Uh, One team that got their second win was the Browns. They beat the Titans 27-3. I'll tell you what, man, Browns defense, the real deal. Hold the Titans to I think under 100 yards. I think about 93 total yards for the day. I mean, Myles Garrett I think right now you're going to have a defensive player of the year conversation. And right now it's between Parsons, TJ Watt, and Myles Garrett. But at the end, it's going to be who's going to get the sack record, Watt or Garrett. That's what it's going to come down to. I'm really excited to watch it based out here in Cleveland. It's going to be fun to watch those two just battle it out for a sack title. And not just for the sack title, but maybe for the all-time record. I mean, we might have a race if they're healthy. If they're not healthy, I don't know what will happen. I think Myles Garrett needs to play every single game to get there. But TJ Watt proved he can miss 4 games and get 22 and a half sacks, even though I thought he had 23. But yeah, the Browns are good, man. And defense, I think Watson's back. But I'll tell you what, the Titans are bad. Shout out to Anthony Kendall, who played for the Titans, former BW teammate. You read about his story online. I mean, some people have written about him. It's really cool to see what he's doing. But sadly, they can't put him on offense because I'm sure he would have done more than they did, which is 3 points, though he's a defensive player. But still, wow, just a bad look. Tannehill looked bad. Offensive line just struggled. I don't know what that play calling was where they're just isolating their tackle on Gary. They're just not that good. It's a really young offensive line, from my understanding. and they don't have any weapons to throw to. It's just a bad offense. Bad offense. I'll tell you what. Speak about bad. Broncos lose by 50. Ugh. 70-20. This is a mad score on rookie. I mean, the Dolphins were trying not to score at one point. You know how bad you have to be playing for a team to try not to score and they still keep scoring. Nonetheless, this Broncos team, not the start you want, especially losing 70-20. I believe they're 0-3. It's it's just not a good luck so far for the Broncos. But let's see what the Dolphins might have to start playing that the T-Pain Miami Dolphins song. Because when you're talking Miami Dolphins, you're talking Super Bowl. That's what it's looking like right now. Team's looking good. The Pats and the Jets, it's a 15-10 game. Pats take home that one. The Jets are doomed. They're doomed. You have a coach that's getting a ball thrown at him in practice. You have a locker room that's seemingly fighting with each other. It's everything was everyone's happy and dancing and prancing that they finally get their quarterback and Zach Wilson's out there. Not it didn't even take a game. And now they don't know what to do. Everything's out the window. They went from Super Jets, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Jets to maybe they win a game again. I don't know. They look bad. They're really bad. They're falling apart. It's gonna be a while until we see this team win again. The Bills and the Commanders. Bills are getting their stride back, man. They're getting their stride back. After a tough loss to the Jets, they win two in a row, convincingly so. The Commanders were hot going in. You thought that they would keep it going. Not the case. Sam Howell can't get the job done. But this won't halt their process on becoming a decent team. A little bit of a wake up call. A little bit of a wake up call. I think it's kind of showed them, hey, this is what the big dogs are like. We're not there yet. Let's keep working. I think the Commanders will be fine. Any team that's trying to work their way up is going to have games like this. You can ask the Lions; they've had a few last year. The reason why they didn't make their playoff appearance. But speaking of the Lions, they won 20-6 against the Falcons, a tough Falcons team, really tough Falcons team. Ritter has been doing decent. Bijan, not bad as well, but the offense was halted by a tough Lions defense. 20-6 was a score if I didn't mention it already. Yeah, the Lions bounced back, man. Like seeing that team succeed and bounce back. Detroit had firepower, and Atlanta can't keep up with it. Detroit's about a year or two ahead of Atlanta in the process of becoming a decent team. It's going to take Atlanta a little bit to get there, but they're not there yet. Packers and the Saints. The only note I have here is Jordan Love is him. 17-point comeback. Maybe he's as good as we didn't think he was. Maybe they were right in picking him. I don't know. Maybe they made the right choice. Maybe they knew it was going to happen with Rodgers. And it'd be a really good luck for the Packer brass if Rodgers maybe comes back, doesn't play too well next year, or end of the year, depending what happens with the Jets. So probably next year. And Jordan Love is leading the Packers to the playoffs. I don't know. But Saints got to win that game. This Saints team is just not fun to watch. Just not fun to watch. Texans, boy, nice little momentum win going in to play host Pittsburgh. CJ Stroud is him, baby. 37-17 against supposed to be a good Jags team. It's a good win for Houston. A real good win for Houston. Trevor Lawrence has not taken a step up yet, but I'll tell you what, CJ Stroud looks good. He looks good. He's not making too many mistakes, making the right decisions, putting people in position to succeed. It's a really fun team to watch. I'm really excited with this team going forward. We'll see how it goes, but I feel really confident with this Houston team on that they could win 6-7 games this year. Maybe a little late with the 7. Maybe they'll already be eliminated, but I like them. I like them a lot. I like to see them be successful in the future. Houston's always a team you want to root for. It's hard to hate Houston. Lose their franchise, they get one back. There's less flair to it. There's less originality to it. But hey, they get a win here. I believe they're first. So it's nice to see that happen. Speaking of teams getting their first wins, Chargers beat the Vikings 28-24. Congratulations, Charger fans. Your team has officially won the underachieving bowl. Vikings, congrats. You are officially the worst of the worst. And possibly your season's already over before it started. With Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson, just options that anyone would love to have, and you squandering it right now. They need to figure something out, man, because it's just not working. Seattle beats the Panthers 37-27. Good win for the Hawks against the backup QB since Bryce Young was out. Yeah, it's a good performance. Gino didn't write back. He's continuing not to write back, man. I really like Seattle. They get Adams back, their safety. Blitz boys, what a lot of people call them. Yeah, I love Seattle. They're a fun team to watch. They play like they have a chip on their shoulder. Like they know, like, hey, not people don't think we're very good. They don't think there's a lot of talent on this roster. We don't care. We're gonna play the way that we know we can. And that's exactly what they do. And they're fun to watch. Beat a Panthers team, puts up 27 points, can't get the job done. But Seattle can, baby. The 12th man is here. The Cardinals beat the Cowboys in a surprise first victory for the Cardinals this year and their first year head coach. 28-16. The boys dropped the ball. The Cardinals. They're gonna be the people's champ this year. I think they're gonna be a team where people are like, we thought they're gonna be bad, and they are, but kind of what the Lions were 2 years ago, where it's like they're bad. Don't get me wrong, they're bad, but they crash and they claw. And I think people are really gonna to sit well with that, and they're really gonna enjoy it. Uh, I know I am. I just think it's just within the Cardinals to play spoiler for teams as they rebuild the roster. So yeah, let's see what they can do there. The Chiefs beat the Bears 41-10. The Swifties are big Kansas City fans, baby. That's really all I have. I mean, the Bears stink. Justin Fields is bad. I regret getting him on my fantasy football team. It's a bad hair day for me. Wow. Yeah, Justin Fields, man, might have to pull the cord on that one. Just not a good nothing good coming out of that right now. Uh but I'll tell you what, for the Chiefs, you have all positive attention on you. All the Swifties love Kelsey. Um, 400% rise in sales for jerseys for Kelsey. That's insane. Just because their favorite pop star dates is supposedly dates him. There's weird conspiracy theories about it where they're not actually dating. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they're talking. I think he invited her and she wanted to go, but I don't know. We'll see. That's really all. That's nothing else to talk about that game whether Taylor Swift was there, which is insane. That's a talking point for sports fans around the world. By the way, Swift fans, big in the analytic realm. Wow. They're finding all these birth signs and these charts I don't know how to read. It's insane. I don't get it. But good for them for dominating this world that they reside in. The Steelers, they beat the Raiders on prime time on Sunday Night Football 23-18. They hold them off at the end. I'll tell you what, their coach, McDaniels, he might have to get fired. I think he's a good play caller, but not a bad. He's a bad clock manager. So they might have to get rid of him. The Raiders stink. Steelers offense hasn't looked this good in years, and they didn't really look all that good. They're somehow going to stumble in the playoffs. The Steeler team. You're gonna have T.J. Watt, who's going to be there right at the sack record again. Uh, Yeah, it's pretty much it. I mean, Kenny Pickett looked a little bit better. He'll probably look bad against Houston. It's just how it works with them. I'm starting to give up on him a little bit. I really thought he was going to be really good this year. Hasn't been the case. I just would like to see a complete game from him where he looks phenomenal. Hasn't been the case. So we'll see what we get from him this week. But he has to be dominant. He cannot be the lesser of the two quarterbacks because, boy, that'll be a bad look on him. The Eagles beat the Bucks 25-11. Eagles. Eagles. I hope they spelled that right. They're undefeated, baby. The Eagles, they're undefeated. They haven't really played all that well compared to they did last year, the middle of the season. I think they're going to be in the Super Bowl again. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. I said it. I think Jason Kelsey rides off in the sunset. He retires. I think Hurts becomes a legend there in Philadelphia. They've had a lot of quarterbacks that can scramble and move and do their thing, man. And the only one who's gotten it done It's Nick Foles. Of all people, it's Nick Foles. Nick Foles is the only guy. They had Michael Vick in his second prime. That's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Randall Cunningham, phenomenal. Flew like an eagle. Couldn't win a Super Bowl. I don't even think he came close. I really don't know, but I don't think he came close. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how the Eagles win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. And, Jalen Hurts can end up being one of the best quarterbacks that the Eagles have if he continues on this type of trajectory that he's on. Let's see what happens. I really like him. I really like this team. I think it's a complete team. They really brought the roster back. They did a good job doing that. So, yeah, let's see if the Eagles can do it. I think they can. Two teams looking to go back to the Super Bowl. The Cincinnati Bengals, they beat the Rams 19-16. The Bengals needed a win, man. The Rams are a solid squad, but they had a bad night. Like, and they only lose by 3. You're on the road. Got a hostile environment of a team that's really looking to get their first win, a crowd that's hungry for that first win. Joe Burrow hasn't looked himself, but that didn't stop him. Bengals finally get that win. Let's talk about this upcoming week of games. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so the Thursday night game, so tomorrow night's game, or most likely listening to this Thursday, tonight's game is recorded on Wednesday, on the 27th. The Lions take on the Packers in a NFC North battle. I think the Lions are going to win that one. I believe they're at home. Yeah, I think the Lions will win that. They're the favorite in this one. It's on Prime Video. I take the Lions. I like the Lions on this. I think they're going to win. The Falcons and Jaguars. I think the Falcons will win. Falcons have looked good. I believe it's international, but I know there's a game in Germany, so I don't know where it is. Yeah, it's in Wembley, so it's in England. So different kind of football there for the for the Brits over there. I think the Falcons will win that. Dolphins and Bills. I think the Dolphins will win. I don't think there's any stopping them here at the very beginning. A toilet bowl. The Broncos and the Bears. The Broncos will win. There's just enough experience for Russell Wilson. I think they want to get back on track, and they're going to take out of their frustrations. They're out on all the Bears. The Browns and the Ravens. Yeah, I'll take the Browns on this. I really like their defense. The Ravens are really beat up, so we'll go with Cleveland on this one. The Steelers. And by the way, that first game is in Green Bay. It's not in Detroit. The Steelers take on the Texans in Houston. I think the Steelers get this win, jump to 3-1. I think they really, really need to get ahead on the win-loss total here and get way above 500. This is how they do it. Again, I think there's going to be a streak in this season where they lose 2-3 games in a row. So this will kind of add some cushion, allow them to do so. The Vikings and the Panthers, another 0-3 matchup. I think the Vikings win this one. I'm not sure if CJ Stroud's playing. Really don't think it matters. I think the Vikings win this one. There's too much talent. They have to win eventually. The Rams take on the Colts. This will be in Indianapolis. That last game will be in Carolina against the Vikings. But this game here, Colts and Rams, I'll take the Colts. The Rams, they're 1-2. I like the Colts here, though. I think they're going to drop off big time. Let's give them a 3-1 start. Why not? Saints and Bucks. I think the Bucks things start crashing down just a tad. I think the Saints win here to go to 3-1. The Eagles and the Commanders. I think the Eagles, they move to 4-0. The Commanders aren't good enough, so they'll drop to 2-2 as they travel to Philadelphia for a division opponent. Titans and Bengals. I think the Bengals blow them out. Again, they're a 1-2 team, just like Tennessee, but Tennessee stinks. I think that Cincinnati has a lot of talent. They just need to find a way to show it here. The Raiders and the Chargers. We'll go with the Chargers. They're going to get back on track at the 2-2. Raiders, again, aren't very good. Jimmy G. I love Jimmy G. Too handsome to be in a Raiders uniform. That the silver and black doesn't look good on Jimmy G because he's too handsome. That jawline's too good. So the beard looks good in it, but just too handsome of a quarterback to be able to just wear the silver and black. They are cool uniforms. The Pats and the Cowboys. I'll take the Cowboys here, take the frustrations out on the Patriots team that's, a decent team that's going to dance around 500, at least battle to do so. Take the Cowboys there. The Cardinals and the 49ers, they are standing in the way of a freight train. They're going to get blown out by San Francisco. The Chiefs and the Jets, the Chiefs will not just beat the Jets, but they'll also cover at 9.5. I'll take the Chiefs and the 9.5 there. Seahawks and Giants, I'll take the Seahawks. Of all that line there's even, so I'll take the Seahawks there. We'll jump to 3-1. The Giants will jump to 1-3. Not a very good football team. But yeah, that's really all. We'll start some playoff stuff for baseball here shortly. Basketball season starting up soon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty much all I have. Tito Francona, uh, he has officially announced his retirement at the end of the season. So for all the people in Cleveland, I know I'm wearing a Kansas City Royals hat. I'm not a Royals fan. I choose the Guardians. You can see I have the Guardians hat there in the corner. But I love Tito. Grew up loving the Red Sox. So it's sad to see him not in baseball anymore. But I'm glad he gets to retire and enjoy life now. So I'm happy for him in that perspective. He had a really good run here in Cleveland, and everyone here loved him. Not too many bad things people have to say about him. Apparently, he interacts with everybody in the city, and he lives in the city, and everyone loves him for it. So, yeah. But other than that, that's all I have to say. Make sure to subscribe to the Keon Sports YouTube page. Make sure to follow on Spotify so you don't miss a thing. Right here and across the sports world. We'll have more NFL stuff coming in the weeks ahead, and then we'll start up some more podcasts during the week on across the sports world. Tomorrow on Thursday, we have the 28th. We have new episodes of Talking Action in Money on the Mac. Talking Action, I said it will be on Mondays. They will be. Wasn't able to get with Ryan here for reasons, personal reasons, but we'll be back together tomorrow, and then Monday, hoping nothing pops up. So yeah, make sure to follow along YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, all the good stuff. I'll be posting all that stuff. So yeah, make sure to follow, and next week, same bat time, same bat channel.